I'm Ranger Meg. This is Backyard Botany. Today we're going to talk about a common plant that you've probably walked past thousands of times and maybe never even noticed, or maybe just didn't know the name of. So the plant we're going to talk about today is purple dead nettle. Scientific name is Lamium purpureum. Again, it's so common, and you're probably looking at this video right now and saying, oh yeah, I've seen that, just didn't know what it was. This plant is native to Europe, but it was brought here with the settlers back in the 1700s, and it's pretty much become endemic to the United States. You'll find it in meadows and yards, pretty much any sort of disturbed area. Purple dead nettle can be recognized by its square stem, its serrated or wavy leaves with a sort of a triangle shape, and they're slightly fuzzy too. You'll notice they cluster up at the top where they're purplish in color, and then they have these little purple blooms. So we can see where the purple in its name comes from, with that purple color, but dead nettle? So the dead nettle in purple dead nettle's name actually comes because at some point the folks that named it thought that dead nettle resembled stinging nettle. Now I'm not going to touch this because it'll sting you. Of course, dead nettle doesn't sting you, so hence it's dead. Personally, I don't see much of a resemblance, but that's where the name purple dead nettle comes from. Now, purple dead nettle, it isn't actually related to nettles at all. In fact, it's in the mint family, as you can tell by its square-shaped stem, something that's shared by all species in the mint family. For instance, here's a cultivated mint. This is called chocolate mint, and you can see it also has that square-shaped stem. Now, like other mints, purple dead nettle is actually edible and medicinal. It just doesn't have the same minty aroma or flavor as our cultivated mints. But it can be used, in a salad. But because those leaves are kind of fuzzy, you might not want to just eat it straight. You probably want to chop it up finely and use it as a garnish, or maybe put it in a pesto with some other herbs. Medicinally, it could be used as a salve or a poultice because it's supposed to have astringent and antibacterial properties. So if you had a wound or a cut on your hand and you had some purple dead nettle around, you could crush up the leaves and stem and put that right on the wound. Something that's also characteristic of the mint family are these very unique flower shapes. You can see here. And in fact, the word lamium, from the scientific name Lamium purpureum, or from the name of the mint family, Lamiaceae, could be related to the Greek word lamios, meaning throat. Because if you look, this flower sort of has kind of a throat shape, or a deep gullet going down in there. Even though you and I may not have paid very much attention to purple dead nettle, bees and other pollinators certainly have. It's a very important plant for honeybees, bumblebees, and other sorts of pollinators because it comes out and blooms so early in the spring. In fact, it's one of the earliest nectar and pollen sources for pollinators. Part of the reason that purple dead nettle is so early is because it's what's called a winter annual. That means it actually starts its growth season back in the winter. It'll put out a little basal rosette that it'll overwinter through the winter before it sprouts up and blooms in the spring. Even though it's important for pollinators, purple dead nettle can also self-pollinate, and after it goes to seed, it'll die out in late spring or early summer. Well, thanks for tuning in to this edition of Backyard Botany about purple dead nettle. Now that you know what it is, maybe you can get out and find it in your own backyard. Thanks.